Welcome back, everyone. This is a Notch Higher YouTube living channel. This is Jasmine, and this space is created and environment cultivated where healthy relationship skills can be learned, developed, practiced so that they can ultimately thrive. I have another great guest today. His name is Manny Hall. Thank you, Manny. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. So, if you can tell, I'm in a different place today and my lighting is a little different, but I'm going to use this for the interview because our next guest, Manny Hall, he is a digital brand management strategist, guru. I just want to say all the things, but really, Manny is someone who can help personal brands and businesses develop their brands. I met Manny through social media and we'll get into that, but instead of me looking the part and looking perfectly, Manny has even helped me as we've gotten on today. So I wanted to acknowledge that because it's going to be I look a little different and things are differently, but this is what we're going to practice today. Sometimes things may look different, but we don't want to stop. We want to keep pursuing and we want to keep growing and keep going. So we're going to get in today's interview with Manny Hall. So again, Manny, thanks so much for showing up today. And you don't have a traditional marketing company. So your digital traditional marketing company is not that. It is something that is very specific. Can you share with our viewers what services that you provide to the world?
Absolutely. So, on the marketing side, I would say the only part that we might be somewhat traditional about is the fact that we do offer graphic design and we do photography, videography. So we're full scale, but really, Jazz, our approach is a lot different. It's unorthodox than from the way that most marketing agencies or brand managers really will attack it. And one of the things that we found was while trying to just run ads for our clients, while trying to position them on social media, that individual, that personal brand, let's talk about that first, was never developing who they were behind the scenes. So they had bad eating habits, they had bad sleeping habits. And we could say on the surface, like those things are so unrelated to business, man. They're like, why are you trying to get someone to be healthier in order to start a business? Well, because I realized that with them eating bad, with them having bad sleeping habits, with them not reading and really understanding their audience, then they probably could not serve their audience. They probably could not show up for their brand the right way because they had all of these other inhibitors stopping them from the success that they ultimately wanted. So we took a huge pivot, probably late 2020, early 2021, to start really focusing on brand development because this was an area that we saw as a sweet spot that people could really achieve success. Now, with the influx of digital products and courses and ebooks, it's this interesting fact that I found, Jasmine, that literally only about 7% of people that actually buy these courses or ebooks actually do anything with it.
7?
So 7%.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's extremely low.
Very.
So, to that same point, one thing that I realized is that there was a lot of people buying into programs, courses, products in order to get help with going to the next level, but they would just be motivated, but nobody actually told them the tangible things that they needed to do in order to get there. So, for those that is listening, I'm gonna give you a quick hack that you could take advantage of quickly this year, even starting today, is think about the 2025 version of who you are. Think about that 2025 version. When you think about this person, you're going to think about what does this person eat? What do they drink? Where do they go? Where do they live? How do they have their hair? What's going on with their body? How does it look? What type of friendships do they have around them? What's their income? What type of money are they bringing in on a consistent basis? What type of circles are they around? What's their day-to-day looking like? What brings them joy? What brings them peace? When you start listing all of these things, then you start to ask yourself some tough questions. I wonder what this person does on a daily basis.
Wow,
What
that's
do you do on a
powerful.
daily basis?
Yeah,
What are your nightly routines? What are your morning routines? What do you do when you're bored? What do you
yeah,
do for entertainment? What do you do for satisfaction when you're stressed? How do you handle those stressors? So when you start answering those questions, then you automatically say to yourself, okay, I got the full manuscript. I got exactly what I need to do in order to become that 2025 version. So
right.
now I literally just start to exemplify those same behaviors, those same habits that successful 2025 version of myself is already doing.
Wow. Wow. That's powerful. You're getting
Yep.
that vision and you've
Yep.
made it plain and you're running with it. You're
Yep.
focusing on it. You're moving
Yep.
towards that because you
Yep.
have a picture. We have a
Exactly,
picture. I have
Jasmine.
a
Yep.
picture. That's
Exactly.
that's amazing. That is an
Yep.
excellent hack. So please, I'm going to use that hack as well. That's awesome. As I'm doing
Jasmine,
some
and I'll tell
changes.
you, it works like crazy. Like
Yeah.
I've done it so many times and I continue to do it. When I thought about the type of business owner that I wanted to be, or this was a
Okay.
time when I looked up a computer and I said, okay, I'm about to get me this little Google Chromebook because it's going to be enough for me to start my business and get it going. You know,
Okay.
I said successful people got a Mac. That was in my
Wow.
head.
Got it.
Now, no, maybe truthfully so, somebody could be very successful with the Chromebook.
Got
But
it.
in my mind, I was convinced that this 2025 version of Manny, he had a MacBook and he had a separate monitor. He can look at two separate screens.
Wow.
And he had him a nice little mouse that was feel comfortable in his hands. And he had a chair that was aerodynamic and all that stuff. And the keyboard was really good for him. It felt good. I had to invest in myself in order to be that 2025 version. Otherwise, Jazz, I was going to continue to operate like this old version that I really needed to break a habit from becoming. But every day that I continue to use the same habits that current Manny was using, I continue to live that same life almost like Groundhog Day.
Wow. That's powerful. And that's a perfect segue into a question that I have for you too, because you're talking about the Manny that you need to become. You're telling us the person that we need to become. Being in business and developing your brand isn't easy. Can you share like what your company does? It is more of a help as a team. What's
Yeah,
the importance of building a team? Like if I'm thinking 2025, yes, I start with Jasmine,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
should somewhere or I can say, hey, but in 2025, it's just not going to be Jasmine.
Mm.
What's the importance that you see of having that vision of having a team? And how does that play in the
Great
development of
question.
our brand and who we are?
Oh, absolutely. That was a really great question. So when I look at this 2025 version, this person is not doing half of the things that I currently do. So I need
Yes.
a team because this
Yes.
person is really more advanced and he's being more strategic with his time and his talent.
Mhm.
That he's understanding that some people are way better than I am at these things. And why don't I let them shine? Here, do this particular task.
Right.
You operate in this role
Right.
because now this frees me up to think more creatively about my business and my brand overall. Now this gives me the wherewithal to be able to show up for my brand in a different way, not from this place of angst and stress and pressure and anxiety of trying to get you to like me long enough so that you can buy something from you. When if my goal and aim is to really help, then I show up in a more organic way. So when you
Mm.
have a team, even like mine, I mean, we do course creation, we do digital products for you. We can literally create the whole sales funnel for you. And coupled with that, again, the photography, the videography, the graphic designs, the websites, the landing pages. So it's like it takes that pressure off of you trying to figure it out on your own. And Jasmine, I'll tell you this, and you probably know this about me from just interacting with my brand. Like I'm not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. When I tried to do that, I tried to get my QuickBooks and figure this thing out by myself and watch
Mhm.
some YouTube videos. And what happened was a lot of frustration. I remember vividly falling asleep at my desk because I
Wow.
was so tired from trying to watch these videos and force my brain to do something that it was never meant to do.
Got it.
So it's like we really give you that freedom to get your life back, to get your business back, to start operating in a way that you know that you feel good about. focusing on the areas that you really love to do. Like allow the team to help you. You allow the contractor to come in, you allow the plumber to come in, the electrician comes in.
So
I mean,
true.
even when your refrigerator broke down, you don't even try to do it yourself. You literally call a mechanic for that.
Exactly.
So, with all that in mind, it's like there's these specialty areas that you have. You need to allow your gift to come out and allow somebody else's gift to come out as well. So it's like I really want to be able to help you like brainstorm exactly what that looks like, creating a strategy around what you need to be focused on for this brand to explode. And it's really, as Jasmine was asking me, like it's all within this development. We got to figure out like what's missing within the brand. Why do you have these struggles? Why do you have this pain point? Why does it seem like you can't talk to your audience the way that you really should?
Mm, wow. And Manny, you have brought the question to a different, I'm going to ask you a different question, but it's along the lines of what you're saying, because the way that I was introduced to you was because of your unique style. You have a process. You don't have to share all of it, but I would like you to share some of why you give back or you reach out to people. So I'm on Instagram and Manny DM me and he just gave information about his company. Now everyone knows, or a lot of people know, if you're on Instagram, you get a lot of information through your DM. But there was something different about the way that it came through. It was honestly, it sounded genuine because it said, I checked out your brand, or I'm paraphrasing,
Mhm.
and this is some things that we offer and I like to help if if you're interested. It wasn't salesy and it wasn't anything like, oh, I have this and I can make you, and it was just like the wording of it. So I guess the question is, in the development of how you have your brand, why was it important for you to reach back out? And with what you're talking about development, what do you do when you see people like myself and say, why are you doing that? Like what's that process about for you
Yeah,
and your
and that's a really great question. So I'll answer it like this, Jasmine. Me as a Christian believer, I really believe in giving, not just giving back, but
Mhm.
more so like investing in people.
Okay.
And I think that, it's an area that is really untouched for a lot of people. A lot of
Mhm.
companies don't give enough. And we decided after me like spending some time in prayer and meditation one day, like I was just like, you know what? Start giving to people. You identify a few people a month that you have some time and capacity for, and you give to them with no strings attached. You don't want nothing. They ain't got to buy nothing. You just gave. And I said, well, how am I supposed to get paid, Lord? He said,
Like
well,
this
you,
business.
right, exactly. Like he said, don't worry. It'll always come back to you. And Jasmine, I'll tell you this. I think that it's like some of the ground that I planted seeds in, these people were already so remarkable that now God allowing me to put my seed inside of them for that thing to grow, He's giving me credit on that.
Wow.
So it's just like when I can come across an incredible person just like yourself, and I
Mm,
said, wow, there's an opportunity where I can give something to her. Cool, I'll do it. Sign me up. And it was no strings attached. It was just like, we can't help everybody realistically.
right.
But, the people that we do identify, gracefully, they've accepted the help and they get a lot of help. I've had people leave reviews on our Better Business Bureau simply from the 2 weeks free program where they were able to work with myself or one of our other coaches for 2 weeks. They literally left an outstanding review because it was almost like they had an opportunity to work with us full time. They
Mhm.
received that much help. And I've heard some stories of people saying, genuinely, Jasmine, like, man, I got more in that time with you than I got with my coach that I hired for a whole year, for 6 months, for 3 months. Like, what was it, Manny? And it's just like for me, I want to give you these practical steps that's applicable to your brand and not this cookie cutter formula. Like,
Mhm.
here, take this. I use this for everybody else. You can use it too. No, because everyone's brand is different. Everyone is at a different place. Some folk can't talk that well at all, Jasmine. So I have to teach them how to articulate their words so that it
Understood.
comes across in a meaningful way.
Okay.
Others already talk well, but it was something else that was standing in their way. It was maybe their
Mm,
email marketing. It was maybe the way they were positioning the brand and not knowing exactly what to say, how to frame reels, how to do this, how to do that. So it's like we talk through those things. And what the beautiful thing about it is, for some clients, it has nothing to do with social media. It's literally, you know what? You need to be at live events. You need to be looking up on eventbrite.com and going to all the events in your city, allowing people to see who you are.
yes.
Because some people, you probably know that, Jeff, like have this energy when you meet them. It's just like tantalizing. It was like, I
Right.
don't be around you. I just want to give you all my money. Here, just take it. You
Like,
know? So-
yes, exactly. Take it. Tell me what to do with it. Go ahead. Let's go.
Right. So it's like really identifying what that person's needs are up against the individuals that they're supposed to be serving. So hopefully I answered that question.
Most definitely. And I wanted to highlight what you said when you talked about the reaching out, because you genuinely, seriously, that 2 weeks that I had consulting with you, it was very, very impactful and powerful. Like one thing that I have it here, I have a book nerd.
Okay. I love it.
Okay, so I really love books. One thing, I'm not going to share everything that Manny gave because that's what his company does, but he did recommend books. That's all I'm going to say. So I was just like, yes. And it
Mhm.
wasn't just simply the recommendation of a book. What I experienced with you, Manny, and what I experienced with your company is that you were looking to encourage, because you did. You actually paid attention because I could tell with what you were saying. And
Mhm.
then the other thing is that you provided resources so that I can change the way that I think and that I
Mhm.
can get that vision so that I can
Yes.
create a vision. So
Mhm.
that I definitely want to echo, because when we're talking about building a brand, I think it was Oprah who said, "What are you talking about? Brand?" People would say, "You have your brand." She was like, "I'm just being myself." So what your
Mhm.
company
Mhm.
does to me, it's saying, okay, be a better version of yourself because that
Mhm.
person is in there, not
Mhm.
because you're not good enough.
Mhm.
What it is that the more that you continue to become
Yeah.
better and evolve in you, the
Yeah.
more your brand will be able to
Yeah.
continue to prosper. You can,
Yes.
what you said today, I hadn't heard that way. You
Mhm.
didn't just say get a vision for yourself, you said get a vision for the team that you would have.
Mhm.
Incorporating all those points, I think this comes into my next question for you. Historically, as Black and Brown people, and I'm grateful that you are stated Christian believer, because we can pull all of these things in, and that's why I really wanted to have you on, because sometimes we can just talk in generalities
Yeah.
and you are very specific. You are a man, a kingdom man. You are a husband. You are a father. Just found out of 6 with you and
Yep.
your wife. Like,
Yep.
wow. You give back in the community with your business, and you are a developer. You are a coach. You are all these things. Historically, Black and Brown people, there have, and I mentioned, and I have been connecting with Tulsa, where that was something that happened in our country. Some people know, some people don't. But I
Mhm.
think a fear of developing in business that can be on a spiritual level. People aren't saying that, but
Yeah.
that development or that vision can be hindered.
Yeah.
What would you say, or I don't want to say what would you say, can you speak to the spiritual aspect and then also the practical aspect for people, how business can be beneficial to their lives and their family, and the importance of personally and professionally moving forward and branding themselves?
Absolutely. So, what I love about that question is that, it's packed with a lot of goodness. One thing that I found through research and reading a whole lot of books is that there are individuals that aren't even Christian believers that have never read the Bible, have no interest in reading the Bible, but they've taken principles from the Bible,
Yes.
direct quote of verses, and they apply those things to their life and business, and they have so much massive success.
Yes.
I think the challenge for us as Christian believers, especially within the Black and Brown community, is to apply the Bible, not just read it. It's like the stuff that's in there is not antiquated. It's there, it's still relevant, it still has life. We have to apply these principles. The principles are so dynamic
Mm-hmm.
that you see things like, um, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. As like people that might believe in Scientology and they focus on the universe, these individuals know that there's something higher that's guiding them,
Yes.
and we have the best guider being in God as believers, but it's like we don't focus on that. The other part of this is like the spirituality part of it. It can't only be focused on you being a believer, but as you really tapping into the spirit realm, period, to say, like, who am I under this skin, this body?
Yes.
What's going on with my mind body connection?
Yes.
Because it's very easy for believers to demonize and criticize people that only focus on the universe and Scientology and they don't acknowledge God. But the reality is, they're the individuals actually focused on the stuff that we should be focused on. In the Bible, the word mind is mentioned 96 times. So
Wow.
that shows you that it's relevant. So we cannot, as business owners, as Christians, as Black folks, all of combined, we cannot discount the importance of our mind. It's active, it's relevant. When we see scriptures like, um, be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's telling you that you can't live the same life in your mind that you was living previously. When it says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, that shows us that Jesus had a mind. And if he was here on this earth, here's what I know. If he was here on this earth, then I know that he had a mind. He had a conscious mind as well as a subconscious mind. So he was using both in order to be dynamic. But here's what he did consistently. He took time away to meditate. When he was off on that mountain in the hill, he was talking to God. He was spending his time in meditation because he realized that these outside forces was going to be distractions. So let's get practical back into Instagram world. So if I know that I'm going to be distracted by all of the forces around me with all these people posting their Lamborghinis and their cars and they took this trip, and then I start to feel some type of way, I need to go back into my quiet place, because it's within that quiet place that God is going to remind me who the heck I really am and
Yeah.
whose I am. And he's going to tell me very clearly, oh no, your time is coming. You need to follow the principles. You need to focus on this. You need to focus on that. It's these conversations that we have in our quiet place in terms of your spirituality, of your mind-body connection, of you finally realizing that I'm the problem. I'm the one that's been running the show the entire time. And I've been trying to operate from this system and almost like this program is running, but I'm the one that's stuck in it. In order for me to get free, I got to start taking control of it. I got to really understand that if the Bible clearly says that, what was my point? Because I heard this wind blowing real hard.
Okay. Okay.
I was just like, what was that? Um, so if it says that we were made inside his image and likeness, Jasmine,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then that means that we're powerful people just like him. But what if
Yes.
I start showing up like that on Instagram?
Yes.
Like, I'm not like this person that calls himself a Christian. Okay, I'm number 5,030,030.
Right.
No, but like, I'm just as important as anybody else. So I'm gonna show up with my unique gift and talent and show the
Yes.
world how powerful I am, because I was made in his image and his likeness. And if we call him incredible, we call him amazing, we call him terrific, I got the same characteristics. If we
Yes.
say that he can do anything but fail, that literally means that I can do anything but fail. No, this is getting a little bit too deep, but
No, but it's in the path. Yes, it's in the
okay,
path. Yes.
okay.
No,
Um,
because a lot
but
of
but
us we
but
don't
it's
know that. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But it says somewhere in the book of Psalms that, and this is an argument that a lot of people go way too deep in, but it calls us little gods, little g's, so that we're not God, but we're little g's. And
Hmm.
it's simply saying you were made inside his image and likeness.
Right.
That's all
Right.
it is. Don't call yourself this big old guy like you just as good, because you're not. There's only one. But you should be using that same power in order to transform your business. The word power in the Greek is dunamis, and it literally means dynamite, something about to blow up.
It's powerful. Yes, exactly.
So it's
Yes.
just like, if we can like view ourselves in that frame of mind all the time, and not be distracted by this other stuff, then we begin to have some explosive brands because we're literally showing up as ourselves. They never wanted a manufactured version. They
Never.
only wanted us the whole time.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
been running my mouth, Jasmine. Let me be quiet.
No, that's powerful and that's impactful. So I put in an additional question there, and I'm grateful that I did. So I want you to tell people how they can connect with you. There are certain people who may never think that they have the opportunity. So how can people connect with your brand? And I'll follow up this with one last question, but I want to insert that here and what you have going on.
Absolutely. So you can definitely just contact me through Instagram. I have a website. It's www.mha canhelp.com. So that's MHACANHELP.com.
Okay.
But I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram a lot. You can catch me on LinkedIn sometimes, but I don't hang out there that much.
Okay.
But I would love to be able to help you. We have an opportunity for you to have a free consultation. You have to visit the MHA Instagram page. So it's not on my personal page,
Okay.
but I have a lot of great resources that you can tap into. I have this one great resource called Creating a Winning Brand. Right now, it's only $7.99. You just click my Instagram page and you can click that to purchase that. But also have this event going on next month. It's called Do It Now. And it literally is going to transform the way you've been thinking about yourself and who you've been in terms of your business and your brand to have a very explosive year. We're going to talk about identifying your target market and really penetrating the market the way that you need to be, but taking a step back and not just vacillating with all this great information that you have floating around your mind, but you never do anything. But I really want to be able to teach you, myself and a really talented guest named Selena out of the UK. We're going to teach you how to start showing up and to literally do it now.
Awesome. So all of this information will be in the description box, everyone, and you will be able to connect with Manny and his company at any time. So thank you, Manny. I really appreciate you being one guided by God to connect with people. And I'm grateful that I was one of those people. And I actually wanted to pull this together this way because this year, I think I shared with you in our first connection, I had not been on Instagram. This was the first year that I started posting on Instagram. So
Oh,
what
wow.
you're saying,
Mhm.
practically, if I weren't out on Instagram, God doesn't work like many would have found me like, oh, there's this Jasmine Bailey girl somewhere in the universe or in creation.
Right,
I
right.
had to be in that space. So
Yep.
what I wanted you to close us out with is, practically speaking, people have to show up, one, so that we can connect with other people and we have to know ourselves. But what is your vision for people who want to develop their brand? What would you say to them in speaking life to them? They don't really think they can do it. They don't really think they have the sauce. They don't really think there's anything important about them. What would you share with people as we close today? And yeah, you coaching them. You're looking at them. This is their coaching moment with you.
Absolutely. That's great. Listen, I know for a fact because I was there. This might be scary for you. It might be confusing for you. It might be intimidating, but you have to draw back inside that power that you know that you already have. There are some things that you're extremely talented in, and the only way that you've gotten to that place is out of repetition. You might not have wanted to go to that job every day, but going to that job every single day, you got so good typing on that keyboard, didn't you? You got so good using Microsoft Word because you had to use it every single day. You was in Excel every single day. You didn't take some course because you were interested in it. You did it out of repetition. So maybe that can help you within this brand experience, within you developing this brand. Some stuff you're doing not because it's so fun and exciting, but you know that it's a part of the learning curve. When you were riding a bike with no training wheels, it was difficult to try to hold your balance, hold yourself up, hold on to the bars, remember all these things at the same time. But you started to practice a few things at a time and you got better and better and better. Now your behind can not only ride a bike, but you can also get in a car and be on the freeway.
Right.
Drive in a car, y'all. Come on now. So let's think about your business and your brand and shift your thinking about what it is that you can have. Peek into your 2025 version. Don't put no pressure on yourself. but realize that you do have it within you to be highly successful. And for some people, let's just be honest, it might be an area that you're struggling in terms of your health. Instead of trying to go after a new diet, here's what I want you to do. Find a few affirmations on YouTube that are health affirmations. They're going to say things like, I love myself. I love my body. I love eating fruits and veggies. I love drinking water. And instead of you trying to force yourself to stop some bad habits, just start incorporating some really great habits. And after a while, those negative things will fall off. I needed to say that to somebody. But also making sure that your brand is showing up the right way. Do it now. Do not allow the doubts and the fears to handicap you and hold you back, because these things will always be there. You just have to ignore them for a season because they're stopping your progress. I wonder what would happen inside of your life if you finally showed up, if you finally took charge of the areas of your brand. And really, this is going to sound crazy, Jasmine, stop praying about stuff so much and start taking more action. Like, you've been in prayer about this, God, what should I do? Should I? He already said yes. And you're like, are you sure? All right, send me 15 more confirmations. Ain't no more confirmations. Just go out and do it. Make it happen. You have it within you. I believe that you can be highly successful, but you got to know that too. And it literally starts the same way that I did my brand. I took a couple of steps forward. When I got tempted to take a couple of steps back, I just said, no, not this time. I might mess up tomorrow, but today I ain't messing up. I'm going to take a couple of more steps forward. And then I got a reminder, why don't you take a couple of steps back? Don't you want to fail? Don't you want to quit? I do, but I'm going to just keep going today. We'll see about tomorrow. And it just kept going day after day, that I kept just focusing a little bit more. And before you know it, I got to this place that I'm at now.
Yeah. That's it. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Manny, seriously, for coming on. Thank you for, one, again, reaching out. Thank you for the process. And I thank you for doing this interview, because what you've just spoken into anyone who hears this, and I'm saying whenever they hear it, that they can do what they put their minds to do and set their action out to do. It's not just, like you said, praying about it. You have to, I've been saying this for the last 2 days, faith-filled action. So let's take some faith-filled action. Manny, thanks so much. Again, I am looking forward to, I am taking the action. I started with Manny, and I plan on continuing having Manny. I'm grateful that you said that. I have you on my vision, because I have already written that down, because I will have I don't have it here, but I have you on my vision already for your marketing company. So what you just said inspired me even more to believe in that and continue to take the action. So everyone, give a round of applause to my new brother, Manny Hall, and his tribe called Hallness, like his whole family. They're not here, but maybe one day you'll see me in a different place and I'll speak it. You'll see me in a different place and we'll be on a different platform together. So again, thank you for coming and tuning into another interview. The space that's been created and cultivated so that relationship skills can be learned, developed, practiced, and thrive. Today, we're talking about business and we're talking about your brand. But in every area of your life, you're worthy of the work. So get out there and do it. Take faith-filled action. Until the next time.